right, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. This is where I say good morning for yet another Good Morning Grenada. It is Wednesday, the first day of October in the year 2025. If you're thankful that the good Lord had carried you through to another day, another month, well, it's a good time to say thank you, Father. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, I want to remind you that no matter what you're going through, you are not alone this morning. I'm with you. The world is with you. The problems that you face in life, don't feel that you're so special that you're alone facing those problems. Problems are everywhere. Everyone's got their share of problems. So don't feel too special. If your life is chaotic and topsy-turvy at the moment, you're not alone. Morning, Yulin Alexander, Monica Meros Williams, Sylvina Charles, Mary E. Banks. Good morning. Where's Yolan this morning? Yolan Swan, good morning. Yeah, it's not easy.
And it's no fairy tale. But in spite of all your...
It's 22 minutes onto the hour of 7 o'clock. And here we start with this prayer from our dear Reverend. Heavenly Father, I will never get tired of saying thank you, Lord, because you never get tired of waking me up each morning. Lord, I know whatever my family and I face today, you will be our present help, and we will be victorious. May this day be filled with blessings from heaven, answered prayers, and divine protection. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen. And let's see, okay. Hello, October. New month, new day, new life. May this month bring you happiness, peace, joy, and abundance of blessings, satisfaction, and victory. May God fill your life with happiness beyond material possessions, and all the desires of your heart be granted. May God bless you, your family, and your loved ones all the days of your life. Amen, amen, amen. Good morning. How are we doing this morning? Hope you're doing fine. Hope we're doing fine. Nice. It's gonna be a busy morning, so we get with the program. The word of the day today, that word is harmonious. Harmonious. It is spelled Harmonious. Harmonious. And it means free from conflict or a disagreement. Harmonious. Here's how we can use that word in a sentence. The team worked in a harmonious environment to meet their goals. The team worked in a harmonious environment to meet their goals. Harmonious. Let there be harmony today, all right? It's the start of Financial Literacy Month. It's also the start of Child Month. A whole lot is happening. Well, you know, from now going back, it's going to be crunch time, yeah? Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is at all times at this time of the year. Michelle Daniel, good morning to you. Now, if you've lost a loved one, deepest condolences from us here at the GBN. Be strong. Mourn, because weeping and mourning endureth for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Joan Brathwaite Batson, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Lauren Salem, good morning to you. The folks inside of Munich and Mama Can, good morning. Petlin, how are you doing? Hope you all are doing fine. Petlin, the firing. Catherine Phillip, good morning. Good morning. Those of you on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, a very special good morning to you. Reminding you that it's always a good day to have a good day in a good way. Lovey, good morning to you. How you doing? Yeah, I've been out of touch. Circumstances, you understand? I know you understand, all right? Lovely. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Andrews and family out there in Claxcoat Bay. Hope you all are doing fine, and we'll touch base. The motivational tip of the day is up next. Nadisha, good morning to you. This is your segment. We look forward to Ariza's Money Wise this morning. Yeah, you're not alone. Don't you feel so special that life is so tough on you? No. He's still worthy to be praised. Now create a power playlist. Build a playlist of songs that energize and motivate you. This is Yulin's power playlist here. Use it to lift your mood and get in your zone. Yeah. Nice. I've got my power playlist. Do you have yours? Good morning to the guys at Richmond Hill Prison. Good morning to all the residents there. Notice I call you inmates and I'll call you residents and not inmates, all right? Yeah, because this is just your place for a time being. It's a learning curve. It's a process. As bitter as it may be, look for the sweet in it, okay? Yeah. Nice, Mr. Eben, good morning. Gangster Cop. How are you doing? Davis and Oos. How are you doing? All you good? Nice. The motivational tip of the day is up next. What's Nadisha? Nadisha, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in quite a while. Not the motivational tip, but the buzz. What's buzzing this morning? Grenada leads the region in magistrate court cases. Financial Information Month launches with student-focused activities. In the region, U.S. urges Jamaica to review Cuban worker practices. Internationally, the U.S. scientists create early-stage human embryos from skin cells. That's a nice one. Trying to interfere with Papa God's plan, you know what I'm saying? I want to take all the time with this. And in sports, the GFA Talent Clinic is set for Texas as they scout for international players to join the Grenada fold, Grenadian parentage and so forth. So those are the buzzing stories, folks. Reminding you that the morning edition of News, Sports, and the Weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
It's a busy world, and we all know the saying, time is money. Meet Candace and Oliver. They both have busy days ahead. Let's see how that goes. Candace is in a rush, off to the bank, again. Oh, looks like she didn't plan for traffic, or this long line either. Now let's check in on Oliver. His morning starts a little differently. Using his phone, Oliver makes a peer-to-peer transfer and pays his bills, all while having his morning coffee. At the store, Oliver checks his finances with online banking. Candace? Still waiting. Back to Oliver. He stops at the bank to meet his loan officer. While waiting, he schedules a payment and makes a wire transfer. Wondering about Candace? Yup, still waiting. Candace could be like Oliver if she uses Co-op Bank's e-solutions. Make your day easier with Co-op Bank's swift, simple, and secure e-banking platform. Bank on your terms, from anywhere, at any time. Click, tap, done. Banking just got easier.
Welcome home. Welcome to Caracou, small in size, rich in spirit. As you step off the boat, you're greeted by smiling faces and warm island vibes. Your adventure begins here. Need a cozy place to stay? The Mermaid Beach Hotel has been a favorite for years. Waterfront views, clean comfort, and located in the town. In Bogles, the Roundhouse Cottages offers rustic charm with a touch of elegance. A peaceful hideaway surrounded by nature. Prefer something private? Dong Island Villas gives you space, sea breeze, and a home away from home feel. Wake up to the sound of waves and views that stretch for miles. We're ready to welcome you. When are you coming?
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Wednesday, the first day of October 2025. Coming up in the news, Grenada leads the region in magistrate court cases. Financial Information Month launches with student-focused activities. In the region, the U.S. urges Jamaica to review Cuban worker practices. Internationally, U.S. scientists create early-stage human embryos from skin cells. And in sports, GFA Talent Clinic set for Texas. The details to this and more comes up right after these messages.
The Grenada Electricity Services Limited cordially invites shareholders to attend the 66th Annual Meeting of Shareholders held virtually on Zoom as well as at the Grenada Room, Radisson Beach Resort on Thursday, 9th October 2025 at 4:30 p.m. Note, each virtual attendee is required to register early to facilitate verification. Documents for the upcoming meeting are available on the company's website. Visit www.grenlec.com or call Grenlec at 237 extension 312 for more information.
Come on out, Grenada. Let's move to live. Sunday, October 26, 2025. Fitness walk beginning with warm-up at 2 p.m. at Progress Park St. Andrew. Organize your churches, clubs, family, and community. Great prizes to be won. Call 442-7450 to order your t-shirts now. Features and attractions galore to keep you moving. Hosted by the Health and Youth Departments of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists.
Good morning, everyone. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Grenada recorded the highest number of magistrates court cases in the Eastern Caribbean for 2023-2024, with 8,978 cases, nearly 25% of the regional total. Criminal and traffic offenses dominated, with 4,314 criminal matters and 3,542 traffic offenses. Other cases included civil, domestic violence, maintenance, juvenile matters, and one coroner's inquest. St. Lucia followed with 8,353 cases, including 6,360 traffic offenses. Together, Grenada and St. Lucia accounted for over half of all disposed criminal and traffic cases in the region. Acting Chief Justice Mario Michel noted the court's justice reform efforts, including revised criminal procedure rules now out for public consultation to improve efficiency and safeguard rights across member states. This October, Grenadian students will take a center stage in the island's Financial Information Month activities. The Ministry of Finance is rolling out a series of initiatives to boost financial literacy with a special focus on youth and school participation. Public Relations Officer Dwight Sampson explained that students will get hands-on experience at events like the second edition of Finance on the Go in Caracas on October 24th and at school visits across the island. We have more in this report.
The first two were held in St. George, the town of St. George, during the month of August. This one, which will be held on the 24th of October, will be held on the sister island of Carriacou. And this one is dubbed Finance on the Go Sister Isle Edition.
Other planned activities include the inaugural miniature finance lecture covering topics such as bonds, cryptocurrencies, and new financial tools, as well as roadshows and public engagement booths. We have more of this.
Another activity that we are planning right now, it's in the pipeline, is the first, and it will be, of course, the inaugural Ministry of Finance lecture. This time around, since we have recently launched the household bond, we want to focus on bonds, cryptocurrencies, or new forms of currencies. We want to focus on that. That is in the pipeline as we speak. We are putting the plans together, and that also will be within the final week of the month.
Children across Grenada are gearing up for Child Month, observed from October 1st to 31st, under the theme My Health, My Safety, or Responsibility. Belle Anna Thompson Maureen, Early Childhood Education Officer, highlighted some of the planned school activities.
We also have our National Church Service. That's on October 5th, and we're encouraging patrons out there to come and really support and be a part of this service. It's going to be at the Evangelical Center in St. George, that's on Market Hill.
The month will also feature Child Sabbath and Child Sunday with student written speeches broadcast nationwide. Thompson Moraine emphasized the importance of empowering children.
We also have Child Sabbath and Child Sunday, and that's important for our children because what we normally do during this time is more or less get our children to attend services, whether it's on Saturday or on Sunday. And what we do have as a highlight is the child. There's a particular child we normally get from our schools. So let's suppose last year we had somebody from District 2. This year we have somebody from District 3. And that child is more or less the child has written a speech actually, and that speech will be read during our Child Month service in terms of Child Sabbath or Child Sunday. It's also going to be taped and aired throughout the month. So that's an important time because the speeches are really our children or a child in our society who would have written something about the theme and what it really means to her.
We are all urged to support our children during this month and always. And finally, today, Grenadians are being asked to wear red in observance of World Heart Day 2025. This year's theme, Don't Miss a Beat, focuses on protecting heart health and ensuring access to life-saving care. The Ministry of Health says the local observance is part of a global effort to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease and promote healthier lifestyles. Although World Heart Day is celebrated internationally on September 29th, Grenada is marking it today, October 1st, encouraging everyone to join in the campaign by wearing red and taking care of the heart. That concludes the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, along with the sports and the weather, they are straight ahead. In the region, the U.S. State Department is urging Jamaica to hire Cuban workers directly and adopt labor practices that prevent forced labor, according to its 2025 Trafficking in Persons, or the TIP report. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has defended Jamaica's use of Cuban medics, saying the program operates under international labor laws and Cuban workers are treated like any other employee. The TIP report also recommends that Jamaica fully implements its screening tools and national referral mechanism to identify and assist potential trafficking victims, and also to develop a national anti-trafficking policy with adequate resources. Authorities are encouraged to increase investigations and prosecutions, including against officials complicit in trafficking, and ensure convicted traffickers face substantial prison sentences. The United Nations Security Council has approved an expanded international force in Haiti, transforming it into a gang suppression force. The new mandate allows the force to neutralize, isolate, and deter gangs, secure infrastructure, and support institutional stability. Personnel will increase from 2,500 to 5,500, and a UN report office will be established to provide logistical aid amid Haiti's security, humanitarian, and political crisis. Panama's UN representative Eloy Alfaro de Alba said the decision signals to Haiti that the country is not alone in tackling insecurity. The resolution, first introduced by Panama and the United States, passed with 12 votes in favor, none against, while China, Russia, and Pakistan abstained. Now, looking further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump said he wants to use American cities as training grounds for the military. In an unusual address to hundreds of military leaders assembled from across the world, Trump described civil disturbances as the enemy from within. He added that the situation won't get out of control once you're involved. It comes after Trump deployed National Guard troops to Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and Portland, Oregon, in a crackdown on crime and to support immigration enforcement. We have more in this report.
And I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
President Trump just made a major announcement. He wants more than just the National Guard deployed to some of the country's biggest cities like Chicago and Portland.
And he wants active military there to, quote, use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds. As you just heard, he later described what he sees in Portland.
Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone. And I get a call from the liberal governor. Sir, please don't come in. We don't need you. I said, well, unless they're playing false tapes, this looked like World War II anymore.
Now, he later claimed that he sent federal troops to Seattle to stop protests during his first term.
And so you look at some of the things where they took over parts of Seattle. They actually took over a big percentage of Seattle. Think of that. You remember that. That was a while ago.
U.S. President Donald Trump. And finally, U.S. scientists have, for the first time, made early-stage human embryos by manipulating DNA taken from people's skin cells and then fertilizing it with a sperm. The technique could overcome infertility due to old age or disease by using almost any cell in the body as the starting point for life. It could even allow same-sex couples to have a genetically related child. We have more in this report from the BBC.
For the first time, scientists have managed to create human embryos using DNA from skin and fertilizing it with sperm. The embryos were not allowed to develop beyond a few days, and researchers say this is still confined to the laboratory, but it is the sort of technique that could eventually be used to help infertile women and men or same-sex couples have their own biological children. Our medical editor, Fergus Walsh, is here. An extraordinary development.
Yep, this is astonishing science, Sophie, which rewrites the rules of fertility. It's still very early stage, but could have huge implications in years to come.
And with this interesting story, it comes to the end. It brings us to the end of the regional and international segment of news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. It's 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning, sporting fans. The Grenada Football Association will host a talent identification and training clinic in Texas, USA on Friday, October 17th and Saturday, October 18th, 2025. The initiative is part of the GFA's plan to expand the pool of players for the national teams, focusing on current players in the U.S. and eligible female footballers across North America. GFA coaches and technical staff will assess participants, identify promising talent, and provide guidance on opportunities to represent Grenada in regional and international tournaments. Prospective players must register in advance to receive details on venues, schedules, and eligibility requirements. The UEFA Champions League action, Galatasaray edged past Liverpool 1-0 in their group stage clash at Rams Park. The only goal came from Victor Osimhen, who converted a penalty in the 16th minute, giving the Turkish side the lead they held until full time. The match drew a crowd of 50,651 fans, and despite Liverpool pushing for an equalizer, they were unable to break through Galatasaray's defense. Bangladesh women's head coach Sawar Imran is recovering after suffering a minor stroke in Colombo, where the team is preparing for the World Cup opener against Pakistan. Team manager SM Gholam Fayez told ESPN Cricinfo that Imran is now in a stable condition and recuperating at the team hotel after being discharged from hospital. Imran, appointed Bangladesh women's head coach in February, previously coached the men's team during the inaugural test in 2000. Bangladesh faced Pakistan in the World Cup campaign opener, marking their second appearance at the tournament since debut in 2022. And historically, West Indies, I have to say historically, West Indies have actually won a match. Yeah, West Indies, they defeated Nepal yesterday by 10 wickets. The openers did the job. Very interesting. Now, what happened? Why did we lose the series? That's the question some of us might ask. Maybe they took Nepal for granted, and when realizing that, hey, it's too late to catch up now, so they... But in any case, the series ended 2-1 in favor of Nepal. And that's all the sports we've got at this time. Stay with us, folks. There will be more sporting highlights in our luncheon edition and in our primetime newscast. Stay with us. The weather forecast comes up right after this.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Folks, for the latest weather forecast, we join forecaster Andre Charles at the forecast desk at the MBIA. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you, at listeners of GBN and General Public. And here's weather for today, Wednesday, the 1st October 2025. Currently, the weather is fair. Winds are variable at 2 knots. Barometric pressure 1014.4 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature 28.9 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 79%. Yesterday's maximum temperature 32 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum 26.9 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, no rainfall was recorded, which is also the total for the month thus far. For the month of September, we've had 74.1 millimeter of rainfall recorded. Now to have a look at the forecast for today and tonight. Today we expect some generally fair conditions, becoming partly cloudy during the evening with brief isolated showers. Maximum temperature 32.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 5 feet in open waters. Tides will be high at 11:45 a.m., low at 3 p.m. Sunsets today at 5:57, rises tomorrow at 5:56. Just a repeat of the forecast, that for today and tonight. Generally fair, becoming partly cloudy during the evening with brief isolated showers. Maximum temperature 32.5 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting from the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andre. Have yourself a great day now, folks. The weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
Quartz presents the Home Event 2025, happening now at Quartz stores nationwide. It's the perfect time to refresh your home. Come explore new arrivals, bestsellers, and deals you can't resist. Discover the widest range of stylish furniture, cutting-edge TVs, audio systems, and appliances that are smart and energy efficient, all backed by the Quartz low price guarantee. Our experts will help you choose what you need for your home. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and get more. Don't miss the Quartz Home Event 2025. Quartz, bringing value home.
It's 8 minutes after 7 o'clock. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Grenada leads the region in magistrate court cases. Financial Information Month launches with student-focused activities. In the region, U.S. urges Jamaica to review Cuban worker practices. Internationally, U.S. scientists create early-stage human embryos from skin cells. And in sports, GFA Talent Clinic set for Texas. And if you're still enthused by that, West Indies won against Nepal by 10 wickets. Now that has been the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, the first day of October 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening and viewing, wishing you a productive day and extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network because we are with you anywhere and everywhere. Reminding you that the traffic report comes up next, and then we've got Ariza Moneywise.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
There are lots of reasons to own your future now. Lots of dreams and lots of plans. Lots of ways to own your land. With ACB by your side. Lots of ways to own with pride. Lots of chances to make it yours. Lots of ways to open doors. Lots of space to build much more. Lots of reasons to own your future now. There are lots of reasons to own your future now.
Start building your tomorrow today with a LOTS loan from ACB Grenada Bank.
There are lots of reasons to own your future now.
LOTS, land ownership, tomorrow secured.
Terms and conditions apply.
Echo Blue Limited. Visit us on the Lansopine Main Road or call 405-4818.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
All right, folks, it's now 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. At this time, I'm happy to join Corporal Troy Paul from the Traffic Department of the RGPF for this morning's traffic report. Good morning, Corporal Paul.
Good morning to you and happy Wednesday to all. It is always a pleasure as we bring to our persons the traffic update on the morning time. And this morning is no exception. And as we dive straight into our update or report this morning, most of our towns and all its adjoining roads, we do have a light to moderate flow of traffic at the moment. As I repeat, light to moderate traffic flowing at the moment. So persons traversing in our towns, most of our towns at the moment right now can flow freely with no obstruction and can get to their destination safely. We have no accidents at the time in any one of the areas at the moment. So persons, as I've stated earlier, can flow freely through any one of the streets. However, we also have movements in most of our areas as it relates to the California Public Road, which I will start with because I have recently traversed that area. We have some movement along our road. Persons, it's not heavy, it's moderate at the time to light to moderate traffic flowing in that area. Also, the St. Paul's Public Road, we're also seeing some movement there. It is flowing. It is not that heavy as yet, but we expect that traffic to start building any minute from now, based on trajectory as for the past few days and weeks. Also, we are also seeing movements along the Mount Parnassus Public Road, 10P Public Road, because coming up from the Grenada side, we also see some movement there, and the person should be mindful that if you're traversing in any one of the areas, that is including the Grandlands area at the moment, you should take heed and at least leave home a little bit earlier this morning, or if you're on the road, let's try to avoid those areas, as we stated, that have normally experience a little bit of these congestions. In addition to that, the traffic update or the accident rate for the past 24 hours, 8 minor accidents and one serious. We had a serious accident in the Lattiges area yesterday where a couple of persons were injured and had to seek medical attention. That collision occurred with two minibus along the Lattiges Public Road. We want to still encourage drivers, please drive safely, especially if you're traveling with passengers, especially on minibus. A special appeal is for you this morning, drive safer than normal because you have lives in your hand, and persons must be mindful that when you're driving a public service vehicle, you have to think about not just yourself, not just for the other persons using the road, but especially the passengers in your vehicle. And that is why the C-class license is a different method of approach is applied when you're about to go for your license. So drivers, especially the C-class drivers, please take note. And the road is not a racetrack, especially the Las Vegas public road, the Caledony public road, and those roads where drivers tend to exceed their speed limit. So these drivers must be mindful as well. And even for the regular vehicles as well, you still need to adhere to the rules and regulations of the road. So drivers, if you have not left home as yet, please do so as we climax to the 8 o'clock hour, where we know that we will have the traffic rush in most of our areas, especially close to our towns and all these adjoining roads leading to the towns. Please, drivers, know that you ought to at least leave home a little bit earlier to avoid some of those traffic congestions, so that you can get to your work or wherever you're going safely and on time. And the question we ask every morning, if you are texting,
then who is driving?
Who's driving?
Who's driving? That's madness. Corporal Paul, I honestly hope that serious accident we had in my home village yesterday, last suggest, I hope it wasn't as a result of carefree driving, drivers being on the phone or being engaged in other activities other than driving with due care and attention.
I trust that is not the case, but if it is and it can be proven, the necessary action will be taken against driver or drivers involved, and they will be dealt with accordingly as relates to the law for these offenses. So we want to heed to drivers again. Let us do what is expected of us. Drive with caution. Let us drive with due care and attention. Stay off the devices. Stay off the distractions. Stay off the things that would cause you to have collisions, especially speeding and other things that will cause you to be distracted on the nation's road.
Thank you very much, Corporal. Have yourself a great day and continue doing the great work that you're doing, all right?
Thank you very much, and you have a blessed day to your entire team as well, and also to your listeners.
All right, folks, that has been the traffic report. We take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we've got a riser money-wise. Don't you go anywhere.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Come on out, Grenada. Let's move to live. Sunday, October 26, 2025. Fitness walk beginning with warm-up at 2 p.m. at Progress Park St. Andrew. Organize your churches, clubs, family, and community. Great prizes to be won. Call 442-7450 to order your t-shirts now. Features and attractions galore to keep you moving. Hosted by the Health and Youth Departments of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists.
The Grenada Electricity Services Limited cordially invites shareholders to attend the 66th Annual Meeting of Shareholders held virtually on Zoom as well as at the Grenada Room, Radisson Beach Resort on Thursday, 9th October 2025 at 4:30 p.m. Note, each virtual attendee is required to register early to facilitate verification. Documents for the upcoming meeting are available on the company's website. Visit www.grenada.com www.grenlec.com or call Grenlec at 237 extension 312 for more information.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Grenada, let's celebrate the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert on Sunday, November 9th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center with the best of Grenada along with the Black Prince and the Pink Panther. Our partners, Hubbard's, GBN, Grenada Paper Products, Grenada Distillers Limited, makers of Clacks Court, Grenada's #1 rum, Brenville Credit Union, Bryden and Miners, Agents 4, Johnny Walker, Smirnoff Vodka, and Campari, Renwick Thompson and Company Limited, Pierre Marcel, Hard On Plus, Gittins Healthcare, Dollar Savers Auto Parts, Rise and Shine Supermarket, Springs Food Mart, Excel Plaza, Clem Vision Eye Center, Chillaxing Cafe, Answer Coating, Victory Bar, Blue Bubba's PA Rental and Events Supply, Chateau de la Motte, Grenada, Captain Harris Apartments, Gem Holiday, Beach Resorts, Dana's City Inn, Glen Egg, Spring Water, and the Grenada Trade Center. Sunday, November 9th, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center, the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Please be seated by 4 p.m. Hubbard's Legends in Concert.
Welcome to MoneyWise, your guide to wise financial decisions, made possible by Ariza Credit Union.
All right, good morning, viewers and listeners. Welcome to the first leg of the conversation this morning. And you know, on Wednesdays, we usually have Ariza. It's Ariza's MoneyWise segment. And the diversity in Ariza is that they've got a pool of resourceful people that they can use at all times. And the topic that we're getting into this morning is very topical, and hence the reason why joining us on the behalf of Ariza this morning is Mr. Kerry Pierre. He is the head of the government debt management unit. Mr. Pierre, good morning. Welcome.
Pleasant good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Ariza for allowing us to come here this morning and to share with all of your listeners. And good morning to your listeners online and on radio
and viewers as well.
As well. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, it's I'm looking at you now and you're agreeing, and I'm remembering I was a young adult when you were much younger, and I'm saying, so all of us getting gray same time. A pleasant good morning to your mom, and Sayudi, good morning. Well, this morning we're tasked with the responsibility of sharing with the public a very topical issue. We just heard it was in the news recently, and we want to expound on it a bit so that our viewers and listeners can get a better appreciation for it. Investing in government bonds. Before we get into the actual act of investing, I'd like us to identify what really is a bond.
Okay, good. So we can begin by looking at the fact that government borrows to finance projects, to finance its operations, and normally they would go to the banks, the commercial banks, or the international financial institutions to borrow. One of the ways that government can borrow, however, is by the issuing of what we call a treasury bill or a bond on a platform that is designed to facilitate these sort of transactions. Now, a treasury bill is simply government borrowing from individuals or institutions for it could be a fixed interest rate. It could be what we call a competitive interest rate for anything less than 361 days. So a bill, what identifies the bill is the time period of the bill. Anything less than 360 days.
So it's not an investment tool that has an indefinite lifespan?
No, it does not. The lifespan is defined, and based on that definition, you have a bill or a bond. Anything over 360 days is called a bond. Anything under 360 days is called a treasury bill.
Oh, okay. So 360 and under is a bill. Mm-hmm. And above 360 is a bond. Is there a lifespan to the bond as well?
So depending on the issuance, what the issuing government wants, it may want to borrow for a 3-year period, a 5-year period. The government literally defines how long it wants to issue this debt note for. It could be for 10 years, it could be for 15 years, it could be for 20 years. It all depends, of course, on the interest that person's having it. Because you wouldn't want to go there and say, well, look, I want to issue a bond for 20 years, and you go through the process of starting an auction only to find out that there's nobody interested in lending to government for 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, that's a chance taken. With this, especially with the terms of the contract that governments are given, 5 years in our case. And we also are left with this situation where government is supposed to be a continuum, but in this dispensation, governments, for political expediency, they tend to end the previous government's projects and start afresh or do some modification. So it's a risk-taking. So having said that, is it safe to say that a government bill or a bond is similar to that of a promissory note?
You can say that. You can literally say that. Any contract is, of course, a contract to borrow is a promise to pay later on with a premium, with an interest.
Most cases.
So yes, you can say that.
Okay. Now, and in the case of government, right? We know that as you said initially, government bills and bonds are issued to lenders.
Yes.
For a specific period, for infrastructural development and so forth. For example, I'm just going to use that as an example. Maybe for Project Polaris.
Yes, it's a good example. What you would find, however, is that the treasury bills, which are short-term, like I said, up to 360 days, these are typically issues for what we call cash flow management. Simply meaning that after looking at the numbers, government will realize that, look, we need to have some cash early on up in the year. It's not that we're not going to collect enough money in the year, but maybe in January, February, we have extra things to do and we don't have the cash right now to do it. So we'll issue a short-term note. Let me borrow something for 3 months, for 1 year, and I would repay thereafter. I've collected the revenues to do so. You would also find that government can borrow for projects. So government can issue a bond for a particular project. You use Project Polaris as an example. Whether or not government can issue a bond for something like that, yes, it can. In the past, government issued the airport bonds. I don't know if people remember, in the 1980s, if I remember, remember correctly, a little bit before my time.
Yes.
I redeemed an airport bond up to yesterday. Somebody came up with the actual bond certificate, that they would have been issued around that point in time. They actually found it in their grandparents' briefcase. Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, we honored it. So yes, bonds can be issued for big projects. They can be issued for the bills are issued more for what we call cash flow management, just knowing when you're going to need cash during any given point in time of the year, and whether you would have collected enough, through your revenues, and so you can do these sort of things. Typically, we are not using short-term bills for cash flow management at this point in time. Government has been, making surpluses with its fiscal performances, and so except for, of course, the COVID period and around barrel, and we understand why that can happen. But we are part of a currency union, yeah.
The ECCU.
The ECCU.
Okay.
And we have a responsibility, of course, to keep the bond market alive, and so we participate in it. We continue to participate in it, even though we may not necessarily need the cash for cash flow management purposes. But like I said, as a member of the currency union, Grenada has a responsibility in keeping the mechanism, the regional government securities market, alive, and so we continue to participate in it. Like I said, not necessarily because we need to have short-term cash to manage our cash flow, but simply because we keep
the mechanism alive.
Going. We want to see it grow. We want to see it develop. We want to see it become a little bit more complex. We say deepen. We want to see a lot more activity happening on it, because that is where government can go to raise finances, and all of the ECCU members can go to raise finances, within the region to do whatever it is they need it to do.
Now, from an ariser's perspective, government bills and bonds, we have been having this conversation of financial literacy for a while, and encompassed within that, we had the issue of investment. All right, investment for something in the not too distant future, investment for retirement, and so forth. And it was observed that Grenadians don't really invest. We have a lot of money saved on the ECCU, and maybe the most. I know at one point Grenada had the most savings, personalized savings on the ECCU. I don't know if that's the same. So it showed that Grenadians don't invest. I don't know if they've misconstrued the fact that you have your money saved in the bank and that is an investment. No, it's not. It's not an investment, it's a saving. It grows minimally because of the minute interest that is paid on savings. Now, if you invest it, then you have dividends and accrued interest and so forth. So for the layman, how can he take advantage of government bonds? We heard Minister Cornwall talking about this bonds that will be on the market shortly. I think it launched.
We had a soft launch.
Yes. Right. How can a layman, an individual take advantage of this for financial security?
Okay, so you're quite right in saying that savings is not necessarily enough, as compared to investing. Saving for us is literally putting your money in a secure place where the robbers can't break in and steal it.
Where the rats and cockroaches won't bite
exactly.
Yes.
And while you're saving, the bank gives you an interest, or the financial institution would give you an interest, because they are actually using your money that you have deposited there to work for them.
Yes.
They are investing their money,
on the money market.
But it is for their shareholders. Yeah. Then comes the point in time when you can now take your money and make your money work for you. Yeah, and you have to weigh, of course, the options. You have to weigh the risk. And what you would find is that there may be options out there that would give you a return that is much higher than what the bank or the credit union or any one of the deposit-taking institutions can give you. And so you can take your money and make it work for you, right? Now, we have the regional government securities market, the RGSM as we call it, where all of the ECCU governments often issue bills, treasury bills, and bonds. So they go there and they say, look, I need to raise 20 million. This is what I am willing to pay for it. And what you find happening is that a lot of the institutions take advantage of that. They would take the very same money that belong to you, whom you've entrusted to them for safekeeping, and take it and put it to work for them. So they would go there and they would buy government securities, government bonds, government treasury bills, and earn relatively good interest on it. And I say relatively good because the auctions are what we call competitive auctions. The interest rate is not fixed. What government would say is that I'm willing to pay a maximum of 5% for whether it's 91 days, 360 days, up to $20 million. And the investors, the institutions, would actually go there and bid. I would lend you the money for 5%. Another one might say, I would lend it to you for 4%. Of course, in this age, it's done digitally. They're typing in the information and sending it up. And of course, because we want to have the lowest cost of borrowing, we would go for the cheaper one. So if we have enough bidders who's willing to take 3%, then we would sell at 3%. If the maximum amounts want to take at 5%, then we would sell at 5%. So the interest rate varies. What we set is a maximum interest rate. But what we've seen is that the institutions tend to crowd out the individuals.
Right.
Yeah. So in almost all of the ECCU countries, especially in Grenada, however, we've seen more of it happening in Grenada, where the individuals do not get a chance to invest
in bonds.
In bonds and treasury bills.
But the thing about it, in the case with the credit union, if the credit union does that, eventually the members benefit because
through dividends, the members can benefit. Yes. So we're not necessarily saying, we're not saying that you need to go and take out your money from these institutions and put them elsewhere. What we're saying is that you need to have a sit down, look at your money and see whether you can make it work for you, make it earn more for you. Sometimes you need to make it work. You see an opportunity that can make it work for you for 100 days. If you need to take it out of an institution and put it there, and then afterwards when you've gained more, you can put it back in the institution for safekeeping. Yeah, we're not here to say that the financial institutions, the bank and the credit unions, they're no good or anything of the sort. Of course not. Well, they're businesses performing a legitimate function, and we're quite happy when they perform the function that they're doing well. We're happy, we're satisfied. What we're saying is that expand your vision as to what you can do with your money.
So this new bond system that is just being ruled out, how does the ordinary man take advantage of it?
Okay, good. So at the highest level of the currency union, it was recognized that persons need to have a little bit more financial information and a little bit more financial opportunities, and so we're piloting for the very first time an instrument designed specifically for individuals. So the banks, the credit unions, the insurances, the business places, they are not allowed to participate in this particular bond. This bond that we're issuing is called the household bond. Some may say the retail bond. It is designed specifically for individuals. Now, normally on the RGSM, minimum bid is 5,000. This one has been reduced to 500. Yeah, okay. We're looking at accessibility. The interest rate on this one is not a competitive interest rate. It's fixed. It's fixed at 4.25%. Right. Given the fact that it's fixed, it's going to be a first come, first served basis. If you want to participate, because it is on the RGSM, it must be done through a licensed, registered broker. Okay. Right? So you need to go to a broker. The broker is going to open what is called a brokerage account in your name. You would inform the broker as to how much you intend to pursue. Give him the money to do so, and he will transact on your behalf on the day of the auction.
Okay. Right. So do we have registered brokers, financial brokers on island?
On island, we have one registered financial broker, which is the Grenada Cooperative Bank. Yeah, limited. They are registered brokers. I believe they do have on their website the portal. You can actually start the process of opening a brokerage account with them. They have, of course, fees, but these fees are not. They're not, they're not too much. When you discuss with them, they will discuss the fees with you. There are also brokers whom you can use, even though they're not domiciled in Grenada. They are licensed and registered to participate in auctions on the RGSM. We have the Bank of St. Lucia. We have First Citizens Investments in Lucia. We have the Bank of St. Vincent. We have the Bank of St. Kitts. So there are other brokers in the region who can transact on your behalf. What you need to do is to reach out to them, and of course that information is available on the RGSM website. We are preparing a document which we would soon make public, which would also contain the listing of the brokers and their contact information for anyone who has interest in contacting the brokers. And we always encourage persons to contact the different brokers. Right? Some of them offer different services, some of them have different prices. You may be inclined to go with a broker who's not domiciled in Grenada. You may decide because of the cost, because of the services that they offer.
Okay. And for this bond, it's a bond, right?
Yes, it's
so
a
that
bond.
means it exceeds 160 days.
Yes.
Okay. So it's for 1 year?
It's actually for 2 years.
2 years at 4.25%.
4.25%.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Minimum investment amount $500. Maximum investment amount $50,000. We want as much persons as possible to be able to access this bond. However, it's a regional issuance, meaning that persons from outside of Grenada can also participate. So if someone is in St. Kitts and they want to participate, they can also do so. This is, like I said, the pilot. However, St. Kitts is actually going to issue a bond as well. Yeah, a retail bond as well with similar terms. They may be, I think they're going for a slightly smaller amount than we are. We are issuing for $5 million at this point in time. There's a possibility that we can go higher, but at this point in time, we're issuing for $5 million.
So with the stipulation of $5 million, does it mean that once you've reached enough individuals have bought in to reach that $5 million cap,
the auction closes?
Okay.
That's why we say first come, first serve.
Okay.
The auction date is set at the end of October, the 31st. But that doesn't stop you from contacting your broker. No.
Okay.
Opening a brokerage account. No. Because the broker is actually going to note who came first. So on the day of the auction, that is the order in which they will be entering the bids.
Okay. Final question. Has there ever been a situation where someone invested in a bill or a bond, and when it's time for redemption?
Okay, good. You could say it.
Government was unable to meet that commitment.
Right. So we have never had that situation. Even when Grenada went through its debt restructuring in 2015, we would have honored all of our issuances on the RGSM. Now, we have to understand that we have a currency union, and any failure of any one member on the RGSM affects the entire currency union, and that is something that we don't want to happen at all. So, it is, like I said, it is well regulated. If 2 days before an auction, for example, if I have an outstanding bill, I would have borrowed 91 days ago, and it's now time to redeem. At least 2 days before the auction, if the ECCU, if the central bank hasn't received the deposit, because we need to send the payment money in advance of the redemption day to ensure that persons are paid on time on the day that the bond is supposed to be redeemed. 2 days before they don't see, they're calling.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
You have to honor this. Yeah.
What's up? Your money should have been here, already. We haven't seen it. Is there a delay? Is there anything that we need to be aware of? Yes. So it's a very, very serious matter. The regulation and the functioning and management and functioning of the securities market. It's not something that we play with.
So you think, well, not think, in that case, you all are the ones that orchestrated it. It's a wonderful opportunity and investment tool for the ordinary man, starting at $500 and going up to $50,000.
Yes. Right. So like I said, one of the objectives of the central bank, of the currency union, is that of promoting financial information, widening opportunities for persons. And we were seeing that the few individuals who tried, they weren't even getting through, and so this is why, we've created this particular instrument so that, we can get persons involved. We can widen persons' perspective as it relates to investment opportunities. I mean, we're at the Ministry of Finance, and persons come to us and they want to know, what is this stock exchange about? They're watching the news and they're seeing the right. indexes and they want to know, can we participate? Do we have things like that in the region?
Well, I do hope with the commencement of World Financial
Information Month,
this starting today, I really would like to see this sort of information disseminated, programs designed to really increase people's financial literacy. I think this is a good springing board for Grenadians. If it is, exposed properly and get Grenadians into that culture of investing, especially in a safe one as this, it could be the start of great things. We've exhausted the time. Any parting words?
Gordon, just to say that we know persons have an appetite for investment. We know persons want to do more with their money. We've seen, for example, some of these scams in which persons have lost their money because they're actually trying to do more. This presents an opportunity where you have a regulated system. It's the governments of the Eastern Caribbean Central Union. You know who you're giving your money to. You know that the risk is minimized. And you don't have to take these sort of risky chances with your money. You can participate on these auctions. We actually publish a prospectus every year. We're doing a prospectus for this particular issuance. Persons can invest, but we want you to ask the questions, raise the questions. Do your little investigations. Call the Ministry of Finance if you need to call the Ministry of Finance. Find out more about what is going on. We want you to learn more about these things so that you in turn can make wise decisions. So you can understand that saving by itself is not enough. Yeah, you need to build wealth, and you build wealth through making your money work for you. Yes. Whether you invest on the stock exchange or whether you buy some fruits and make jam and sell, you look to see how you can make your money grow and work for you.
Mr. Pei, I will be contacting you subsequently so that you can share some added information as it relates to investment and wealth creation and so forth on a specialized program that's forthcoming. So thank you very much. I know you need to say your parting words.
Let me say thank you to your listeners and viewers for sharing with us today, allowing me to give you this information. And of course, we must say thank you to Ariza, for giving us this little spot within their program to share with everyone, with their members, with Grenadians, that look, there are opportunities out there, there are safe opportunities out there that you can grow your money. Thank you.
Mr. Kerry Pei, head of the government's debt management unit. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Folks, that is Ariza Morning Wise for this morning. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I speak with my friends from Eco Blue. Stay with us. Don't you go anywhere.
Today's edition of MoneyWise was made possible by Ariza Credit Union.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
At Oasis Pet and Garden, we bring you the best products at the best prices nationwide. Pet lovers, we have a wide variety of loving, healthy pets just for you. Hamsters, guinea pigs, fishes, birds, puppies, bird food, and dog food. Visit the Oasis Pet and Garden today. Conveniently located along the Wester Hall Main Road, Wester Hall, St. David's, and Melville Street, St. George's. Now serving you at 2 locations. Visit us today.
Quartz presents the Home Event 2025, happening now at Quartz stores nationwide. It's the perfect time to refresh your home. Come explore new arrivals, bestsellers, and deals you can't resist. Discover the widest range of stylish furniture, cutting-edge TVs, audio systems, and appliances that are smart and energy efficient, all backed by the Quartz low price guarantee. Our experts will help you choose what you need for your home. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and get more. Don't miss the Quartz Home Event 2025. Quartz, bringing value home.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
There are lots of reasons to own your future now. Lots of dreams and lots of plans. Lots of ways to own your land. With ACB by your side. Lots of ways to own with pride. Lots of chances to make it yours. Lots of ways to open doors. Lots of space to build much more. Lots of reasons to own your future now. Lots of reasons to own your future now.
Start building your tomorrow today with a Lots loan from ACB Grenada Bank.
There are lots of reasons to own your future now.
Lots. Land ownership. Tomorrow secured.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's 5 minutes on to 8 o'clock, so you realize we will have an extended conversation this morning. At this time, I'm joined by my friends Terry and Claude. They're representing Eco Blue, and that's a new car dealership, and not only car, but they're into solar energy as well. So it's my golden opportunity to say good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I am doing fine. How are you all?
Perfect.
Yeah, we're fine.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So let's hit the ball running. Tell us about EcoBlue. How did it start? Where is it originating from? I'm seeing an Asian friend here. So tell us.
Well, I made a trip to China. I'm really into souvenirs and other stuff. And then I met Terry, and the Chinese market is full of electric vehicles. So we had a conversation, and we realized that Grenada is the perfect place for electric vehicles.
Why?
The hot sun. Because it's not only electric vehicles, we also sell solar systems. So imagine that if you go solar and you charge your vehicle.
Right. Zilch electricity bill.
You eliminate gas, you eliminate soap. So I thought that was the best idea.
Okay, so the vehicles are originating from China. Chinese made?
Yes, made in China.
I'm seeing a proliferation of Chinese vehicles on the market. We know Japan had the car market, but Chinese seem to be getting a big push now. Is that the case?
Yeah. That's why we have the highest technology for the EV, for the pure EV, because Japanese they put the emphasis on the hybrid, but in China we just have a shortcut. We just go to pure EV. That's the reason now even in China market there are more than 50% of the car it's EV.
Okay, electric vehicle. A question. I had Mr. Leslie Smith not so long ago talking about EVs. All right, there was a showcase in front of the Esplanade Mall and everything like that. And one of the questions that I ask, and it's a question that sticks in my head whenever I hear of electric vehicles, the availability and the locale for the charging ports.
That is not a problem. We have a gentleman. His name is with Taylor.
Yeah.
He's a pioneer in charging ports. There should be at least 30 to 40 charging ports around the island already.
Currently?
Yes, even as far up as Sotez, the charging ports. So people always wonder if I get my power run out in granny time. But I always say, if you would not leave home with your cell phone at 5%.
Right.
But even that's the case, we have a vehicle that we bought in that could drive and charge you up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
So for the folks who thought that there would have been some measure of prohibition with your vehicle stalling for power, and there isn't a charging port close, because there's Grenadians are risk takers, right? They would really want to push it. So they would see I have 5% left, but I'll see how far I can get. I would see if I can go and come back. And most times they get stuck. Okay, so if that is the case, it's still not a problem. A phone call could do, and a vehicle could come in.
But it's a legitimate concern, because when I first got the EV to test it, and I did just what you said, and I went up to Granitang, and it was like 25%. And I was scared. I was like, would I get back home if I run out of charge? So I understand people concerned. It could be worrying if you don't have a facility or nobody that could charge you up.
Okay. Yeah. So that backup plan is that vehicle that can charge you.
Oh, and there's a next option where you could have a wire that would charge one EV to the other. You just plug it in. So you'll take power from one EV and charge
it. It's like a jump start.
It's a jump start.
Yeah, something like that.
To get you where you want to go. So it's a legitimate concern, but there are a lot of charging ports going up. The government is really pushing the EV industry.
Walk me through the mechanics of an EV. For example, okay, let's assume there is we know it's not a gas problem or a diesel problem, but some other mechanical problem, and you hold up, all right, you're stalled. Can you sometimes we have a line and with one vehicle pull the other. Can that be done?
We wouldn't recommend that. We just send a tow truck, pick you up and drop you. But unlike gas vehicles, which have about 2,000 parts. Spark plug, water pump. EVs are just a battery.
Simple, very simple. Very easy to test which part is wrong, and we just take out that wrong part, put a new part, it's run. Very simple.
So I guess Trinidad Rio might be jumping for joy. Now we go back to basics.
Yes.
Back to basics.
Back to basics.
All right. So as it relates to EcoBlue, are there different brands of EVs or?
Yeah, we concentrate on one brand, but we're not only do one brand because we are from China and we have all the source from China, so we can do most brand, good brand from China. So it's to say, if somebody said, okay, I like BYD, so we will say, okay, what BYD you want, and we can ship for him. Yeah.
Okay.
But we also do buses. We bought in an electric bus, and Mr. Russ fielded.
EV, passenger bus?
Yeah,
passenger bus, yeah.
And it's working perfectly. And of course, the government is also pushing to have these electric buses on the road.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from an international perspective, whether we like it or not, it's the direction that the world is going.
Yeah.
Because I think in the just concluded UN General Assembly, your President Xi Jinping said that by 2035, thereabout, emission would be down by 25% or so. So it's a thrust it's a world thrust that really, because we are actually seeing, there's only one person that says this climate change thing is a con job. But we are actually seeing the effects of climate change, because here we are in the middle of the hurricane season, but we are yearning for rain. Yesterday I was telling someone that years gone by, I remembered when I was going to school, September and October you would miss school days because of rain, excessive rain.
No rain.
So we have to know that all these are the effects, and those are just some. The reduction in rainfall, but there are other effects around. So it should be the intent of everyone to release as least emission as possible. And that is the way to go. Are you satisfied with the level of interest the Grenadian vehicle market is showing?
Yes. Actually, we now started, of course, and we bought in about 8 vehicles.
Eight,
and all sold already. Or we would have a launching of a particular brand posting Friday. You have some ads on TV.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So we should have an official launch about the 24th. Of course, you'll be invited.
Of course.
Right. And you can get to test it, drive it.
Yes. All right. It's a pity my birthday just went, or someone might have just bought me a vehicle for my birthday present. But I'm happy to hear that, and I really want to give you the opportunity, because we, not just Grenadians, but change is the most constant thing, but people have the highest hesitancy to change. What can we do to get people that when they think of buying another vehicle, that it should be an EV, and why should they come to EcoBlue?
Right. I don't want to kick any other company, but for instance, a hybrid. You still have your oil filter, your fuel filter. You still have to buy gas, right? And I think the battery unit kicks in when you're going up or downhill.
Yeah.
But with the electric vehicle, it's pure, natural energy.
Zero emissions.
Yeah. So you don't have to buy no oil filter, no fuel filter. You don't have to get a mechanic. The thing is, even though you go hybrid, you still need a mechanic.
Right.
And I'm not kicking hybrid. They're excellent vehicles, but China went through stages. It was gas, and then they did hybrid, and then they went pure EV. So hopefully we should go through that stage as well.
I do hope for for posterity reasons. I want to leave Grenada a better place than I met it.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
And that is the direction that we ought to go. Now, besides the vehicles, EcoBlue is also into solar systems. Tell us about this.
Yeah, because in the Caribbean, especially in Grenada, they have very, very good sunshine. So, and now when we check the market, there's a demand for the solar battery system because your electricity rate is really high. It's really high.
And it just went up, right?
Yeah.
And we connect with some bank, right?
Yeah.
So the bank said, okay, if you buy our electric system, and you can get the loan. So when we calculate, it's something like that. If you buy our system in 2 years, you will get your invest return. So after 2 years or 2.5 years, you will use the electricity for free.
Okay.
And what you pay for the Grenada bill, you can pay to the bank as the loan. Pay back for the loan. So it's very good opportunity for everybody that they want to use more electricity, and they can use the electricity for free after 2 or 2.5 years.
So it's a good investment. We were just talking about investments there. This is a wise investment because you're baking more cakes with one egg. You're investing in the future.
Yeah.
You're also safeguarding the environment.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the sort of average cost for?
Well, it depends on your consumption. So what we normally tell a person who's interested, send us your consumption bill from Grenada on the app. We make a solution, and then we design. So it's not one system.
Yeah, I will give you some hint that to say, for example, for a smaller system, it will start like 6,000, 7,000. For a little bit bigger all-in-one system, it will be like 9,000. And for the bigger one, maybe 25,000, 26,000. And another bigger one, it's like 32,000. But anyhow, what you invest in 2 or 2.5 years, your investment will be returned.
Wow, that's awesome.
We did a house for a gentleman, a really good guy. We're not going to call his name, but he calls me normally every 10 o'clock. My battery is full. And that's because we have good sun.
Right.
He's on the top of the mountain.
Top of the mountain, and we all are on top of mountains basically. So he installed AC in all his rooms.
And he also buy extra dryer.
Buy
extra freezer.
He's just
showing off.
Showing off.
Yes.
Showing off. But with that sort of investment, after making that wise, lucrative investment, you should show off.
You should show off.
Yeah, you've earned the right to show off. So, my folks are listening and viewing, and how can they contact EcoBlue?
All right, at 459-4818. WhatsApp, just send us a WhatsApp. But we're located at Lansdowne, just by the Quarry Junction.
Quarry Road, yes.
As you go over the hill to go down to Lansdowne.
Okay, they pass Grand Lake going in.
Yeah, after Grand Lake.
Yeah, after Grand Lake, you can see the containers. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and not only that, but we also do containers, prefab containers.
Prefab container.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So what we did, our office is totally off-grid. So we have a container office, and it's not run by Grand Lake. Everything is off-grid. So you could actually, if you want to put a container someplace in the mountain, we could put that up there for you because we just bill it and do
refrigerate it and everything.
Yeah. We have AC in the office, so it's very cool.
Wow.
It's free for from Granic. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that there's anything we missed that any highlight that you think the general audience, because I know after this conversation you will be getting calls.
Yeah.
All right. I had a gentleman here yesterday morning. We were talking about a mobile physiotherapy thing, and as we ended the program, his phone went off. So expect your calls. Expect your calls. Yeah. Again, give us the numbers and the contact information.
So the number is 459-4818.
Okay. Let me. All right. I'm going to write it this time because yesterday after the gentleman left, people were asking me, what is his number again? And I have it.
You could call JC here as well. He does a lot of work for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
459-4818. 4818. All right.
Or you could contact Terry at 403.
403, yeah. 4818.
4818. Or Claude
at 405.
4818. Oh, so you all like this?
All have the 418.
Yeah, it sounds like.
But it's time for you to get an EV. It's time for you to.
Well, now that we've had that conversation, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. I know my good friend Leslie Smith is going to be very happy.
Yeah, very good friend of ours.
Maybe lead by example. Yeah, lead by example.
But he also is pushing us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to congratulate you all on that initiative, and as we know, Grenada is a place that we look back for a while and observe, and then after a while, everybody grabs the bread.
The thing. Everybody's a little reluctant, right?
You gotta, that's the thing about it. Change is the most constant thing, but most of the times people are hesitant to change, But you're doing a great job. We're seeing it in the media. We're hearing about it, and seeing your vehicles on the road. So it means I have to come and drive one. Definitely.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah, definitely. I'll come test drive one of the pickups, and I'll boast about it subsequently.
So the prospective launch would be about the 24th
of October.
Okay. We'll give you all the information.
Yes.
So the public can come down and test it.
In Lansapin. Where would the launch be?
We have not exactly got a location, but we'll keep you informed.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Terry and Claude, and the I'm gonna use a humorous term, the picture takeouter. That's Susan is there with us as well. Thank you for sharing with us, and don't be a stranger.
Okay.
Please don't be a stranger. All right. So, folks, you heard it. The numbers again. Let me give you that number. The number you can get is 459-4818. Or you can contact Terry at 403-4818 or Claude on 405-4818. That's where you get your electric vehicles, and not only that, but you can have containers that could be set up for you, and also your solar systems.
Yes.
So it's a sort of one-stop for everything climate change.
Yeah,
great
savings. Thank you, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure here.
Okay,
folks, that's it for the conversation. We take a quick break and we come back. Don't you go anywhere. Not you move.